Hi guys, good evening. For this a bit late stock market update. So as promised, I'm trying to make this a daily PSE update, so you get I guess a gist of what's happening in the market, that it gets to serve as a guide for all of you to be able to start investing, especially for those who want to get a sense of what's happening in the market as well. So we'll wait for people to join us and to log in before we start. So as promised, I'll try to make this as frequent as possible so that maging parte lang ako ng investing journey niyo, masaya na ako. Ayun, we have people logged in already. Michael Naranjo, Carl Subang, good evening. Kim Sim is already joining us. Jemmy Lontok, who used to be OFW from Dubai, who went home to the Philippines, so it's nice to see more Filipinos coming home. Romel Pasion from Abu Dhabi, Olive Fausto, Ekim, okay, hello Ekim, good evening to you, and good evening to all of you that are from different I guess corners of the planet as well, no? Dolly Alay from Davao, Nikki Mata, good evening to you. You guys are the first, so those who would comment first, I would greet as much as possible. Hervey, I remember you from Singapore. I hope to see you this weekend. McCoy from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. You have Ray Ortega, good evening. Brooks Lee from Dipolog City. Sir Amante from Muntinlupa. Alright, so I guess we have enough numbers already. Chris Vinny from Japan, who's joining us. Yeah, Chris, I hope to also, the crowd in Japan is amazing. Just to share, before we start the PSE update, whenever you go to different cities na madaming Pilipino, I don't know, there's such a different vibe as well, na there's such renewed hope na sobrang daming Pilipino that are investing, that are having a sense that they want to set aside money for their future. And hindi lang yun there's a new sense already of eagerness to learn to invest. You have to understand that when you start to invest, the greatest investment is not the stock market, it's not the business that you have, but it's here, because what you know is what's gonna propel you to make the right decisions on your investing journey. All right, so a couple of things. First things first, last Friday the market had a net foreign selling. It was the first time in I think more than 5 days straight na nagkaroon tayo ng net foreign selling last Friday. But the tides shifted again today with the market having a very slim net foreign buying. So that's very interesting, because you have to understand what triggered the market to go higher was not just locals starting to buy up the market, but you have foreigners starting to come in. A lot of reasons could have triggered it. One is the Turkinomics platform, where a lot of people at least saw the fiscal policy or the economic plans of the government, which is highly centered on construction and development of our country as well, and a lot of people are excited to see what our GDP report will be. Alvin Ang, one of the economists that I respect, I follow, sabi niya the agriculture segment of our GDP is much higher than expected already. So that could propel around a 7% GDP for us as a whole. So I'm excited for that, because number one, that can actually propel us to have greater results for significant economic numbers can propel investors to actually invest more and put in more money in the Philippines and believe in the growth story. You have to understand, whenever there's news as well, you have to check it out. Is this something that will affect the value that we have in our economy, or is it just something that's noise? So that's what you need to determine. It's not just about looking at the price movement, but you have to check out also, does the price movement warrant the change in value that we have? And I've said this over and over, but I know we have a lot of new viewers each time. The fundamentals of our country is still there. Not much has changed within our three bright spots. The remittances are there, the BPOs are still there, plus consumption is still there. But what's amazing is agriculture, construction. If that will pick up, we have so much in store for our country. Plus tourism pa. All tourism and more business coming in will be a byproduct of what we have in the agriculture in terms of what we do in construction. So now let's look at the PSEi. However, what's interesting also, you have to understand is yung mga movement na yan sa economy iba rin yung galaw ng stock market, meaning the economy could go up, and the economy has been zooming and moving up for the past years. However, the stock market has been relatively volatile. For those who haven't been in the market for quite some time, just to give you context, from the drop in 2008, the market started to zoom up until 2013. The market hit 2013, it hit as high as 7,400, then it started to correct. But after 2013, you have to get the context of this. From 2013, we're now a shade around above 7.7. From 2013 to where we are now, 300 points lang. The market has gone sideways already, because you have to understand also that the markets cannot go up forever. There has to be portions of consolidation, and I believe for the past 4 years, that's what we've been experiencing. Although now, from a mid-term standpoint, a lot of the technical oscillators are still bullish. Alright, so let's go back to the PSEi. Well, again, just to add context, everything that we'll talk about from this point on, first is based on the charts. This is the chart that I'm trying to, I guess, analyze for all of you. So I use a couple of moving averages and also oscillators that I try to combine as well when I do my charting. There are other oscillators as well, but for this is what I'm showing you as of this point in time. And I use a lot of moving averages. I'm a big fan of moving averages. That's one of the things that I really like to do. But based on the chart that I showed you, for those who just joined us, you can just backtrack to the video again and look at the chart as some sort of reference. All of the moving averages and the oscillators are still pointing a relatively bullish sentiment. The uptrend, the mid to long term uptrend, is still intact. So what does that mean? Again, for position traders, for people who have a mid-term time frame, since we are still in an uptrend, we don't have a sell signal yet. Since this is not stocks by request, just reference it. Find stocks that are similar to the movement of the index. Since the trend is still there and intact, there's no sell signal still for those who are in mid-term time frame. Next, for those who are looking at it from a quick trading perspective, just to give you I guess a background, I mentioned that we have to break out from 8,100 for our market to move up higher. Because if we don't break out from 8,100, tuloy-tuloy yan will just be sideways. And now the sideways range is a bit thinner for this I guess for this sequence. We're gonna move around 7.7 to around 8,100. I repeat, we're gonna move from 7.7 to 8,100. So if you watch the market closely today, what happened was sometime early today, the market hit a high, but it suddenly bumagsak siya. Why? Look at this. Let me show you. Let me go back to the moving average that I placed a while ago. It hit the 10-day moving average that I placed, which is a very short-term oscillator. And for those who are watching it, that served as a resistance. Meaning, from a context of where we are, at that point in time, it served as an area where people were selling. I repeat, it served as an area where people were relatively selling the stock. So now, why am I saying this? As the stock approaches 7.7, which we have a area of support, as long as the stock holds around 7.7, you would have a buying presence there, and as long as that would hold, the play from 7.7 to 8.1 is still present as well. So there, then if 7.7 does not hold, a possible retracement, should it not hold, a possible retracement to around 7,400 could be possible. But if it holds, the play for 7.7 to 8.1 is still there. So one of the things also that caused it to I guess retrace a bit was RSI pointing that it was oversold. However, it was not strong enough to break the prevailing trend as well. MACD and the ADX is still pointing a more bullish undertone for the stock. So there, a couple of things to watch out for. Watch the 10-day moving average. If we bounce off from there, it has probably a chance over the short term to go to around 8,000. I repeat, if it bounces off around the 10-day moving average, it has a chance to bounce back to around 8,000, or challenge 8,000 at the very least. But if it fails to hold off the 10-day moving average, it goes back to around 7,700, where we watch now if that level is relatively strong or not. So ayun, that's it. I hope this helps you. I'll try to do this as daily as possible. Again, I don't know, it's fun to do it. it's really nice to be able to be part of your journey as well. So before we end, just to greet, let's try to greet some of the people who have been joining us. You have Ben Labig, Jim Deoso, Hector Cabos from Leyte, Junior Go from Dumaguete City. Yeah, Junior Go. He says, I want to read stocks just like you. You have to understand, your goal is not just to create a style that fits you. There's no one fit style sa stock market. We all have our own styles. We all have our own techniques. But base everything on fundamentals or technicals. Try to find something in between na makatulong sa'yo. Kerwin Halos from asking about Meralco. We'll try to include that in stocks by request. Roy Reyes from Traders Apprentice Pilipinas. Hello to you. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. You have Alvin Saison asking about URC. Alvin, I posted something in my Facebook wall. Check it out. I showed a chart of URC. I believe so. If not chart, I posted a couple of things about it, saying that it was bearish. And if you're even a position trader or a quick trader, it would be prudent to stay away from the stock as of this point in time, and then come back when you see a full reversal when you see a full reversal, or at least the charts show you that the stock is reversing fully. And then you have Michael Naranjo saying thank you. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone. To our friends in Singapore, I'll see you this Saturday. Kayo, jackpot kayo, you will be the first people to grab a copy of the book. It's the first time it will be released to anyone. So my first book in technical analysis will be out already for StockSmart Singapore. This is the first of, I guess, 3 or 4 more books in technical analysis. So for those who are asking what's the content of this book, this is for people who at least want to have basic knowledge on technical analysis, that want to know the different types of charts, from candlesticks, line charts, and bar charts. For those who want to know how to analyze a stock from a day-to-day price range perspective, and for those who want to analyze it also from a range trading perspective. So this lays the foundation for the other, I guess, 2 or 3 more books that will come out based on technical analysis. So one of my favorites is technicals. I really love technicals. Fundamentals is something very important as well, because it allows you to select good stocks, but technicals allows me to be able to I guess find a sense of timing on where the market is actually headed on a particular point in time. So ayun, that's it everyone. Promise more videos over and over, because I really believe in the power of social media. This could touch a lot of people, and one of my goals in life is not just to invest for my own, but again to frame the context of the next generation of Filipinos, because I really believe that there's so much more for the Philippines, that there's so much more for all of us, that we have a part to play on where this economy is headed, and more Filipinos becoming prosperous. We get to create better opportunities for other Filipinos that come our way. So I'll see you all soon. Let's high five. Appear. Thank you so much for having me, and have a good night ahead. God bless you all.